I was a person who really found Afrotech to be exactly what it needed to be. I came here looking to get another position, to increase my salary and to get connected with people who would be able to help me do that. And that's what Afrotech was to me. That's what it needed to be for me, and it was everything I asked for. And like I said, my rating is right behind me, and it speaks truth. I think Afrotech was a solid 8 out of 10, and here's why. So let's talk about the good. Austin was definitely more prepared for Afrotech this year. Without a shadow of a doubt, Afrotech this year, there was a presence. Within the 4-block radius of the convention center, there were flags posted all around the streets. There were signs everywhere. Afrotech was mentioned weeks in advance. I checked the local news to make sure that Afrotech was mentioned, ingratiated to help with the flow of traffic. So unlike last year where you had to walk a block to get to the convention center, this year you could be dropped right at the steps of the convention center, which helped for a better flow of traffic, which helped for a better flow of Uber travel and timing. So the city was much more prepared. Also, in addition to that, bars and social clubs and other things stayed open far later downtown on the weekdays to accommodate a lot of the travelers who are coming to have a good time all the time. So it was definitely a much better atmosphere. It felt way more welcoming compared to last year when we would go to events where there would be one place open, but the other surrounding restaurants or establishments were closed. So it led to this bottleneck where everyone was trying to go to one place, but it could have easily been relieved if one or two of those other places stayed open and probably gotten patronized for it, for their effort. Another thing that was really exciting to see was the lack of security with the increase of security. So what do I mean by this? Last year, we had to basically sign up for clear or TSA clearance in order to verify our COVID vaccine shots. This led to a huge bottleneck where every morning you were expected to spend 10 to 15 minutes logging in, getting your information sorted, and then being allowed into the convention. This really dragged the process and made it a chore to go to the expo. And whenever you have to make an expo something that people have to do, or a chore, people aren't going to want to do it. One thing, you could probably see this orange thing here. They put this on people's wrist as a way of helping to identify that you had been to Afrotech at least once. My question is, once again, are you supposed to wear that all 4 days? Furthermore, if I did see you have that on for all 4 days, I can just safely assume you didn't shower, right? That's a safe assumption. There needs to be a better way of doing this. There's no way that this is the only way they're tracking us. Literally, last year, they had a tracker on people, which I know they didn't sign off on people to do this, so that's probably why they took it away this year. But really, they made it way more convenient for people to get in, which would have been a lot easier to finesse because on the backhand side, there's nothing except for this. So if you just had a copy of someone else's version of this and put them on both sides, you could probably get away with not having to pay to enter. And I'm not saying you should do that, but I was much more welcoming to the idea that if you just flash the badge, they let you in. That's how it should have been. That's how it needs to be, and that's how it needs to keep being in the future. The antiquated parts of getting people in was really annoying last year. So this year they cleaned that up, and I really enjoyed it. One thing the expo did that I really enjoyed, because last year it rained on two of the 4 days, they had food indoor. They had vendors that were selling food. 2 of the shops were selling coffee for free all day long. These were great things to have on site. So Afrotech made sure that people were like, even if you didn't bring a dime to your name, you could get coffee, slider burgers, and pancakes at one point, and even I think like smoothies at another point throughout the course of the day at multiple vendors who were there to give people jobs. So they kept people fed. There was free water on site. There was bottled water. There was like the little water faucets on site, and this was all housed indoors. I think a big complaint last year for me personally, as a person who likes to stay hydrated, was having to leave the premises to go get water. That was mind-boggling to me, and it happened on too many occasions. So I'm happy to see that they were able to fix that and make sure things were up to par. Another thing that some more things that were really fun and things that I think people took for granted was the expo, but also that there was always something to do. No matter where you were in the day, from the times of 8:30 in the morning all the way till 5:30 in the afternoon, and almost pushing 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, there was something to do on the calendar. And even on the day of the event, they were adding things to the list. I think this goes totally under scope in preparation, right? I think it goes without saying that being able to have such a robust schedule for people to do multiple things at multiple times, I'm a fan of it. And I'm a fan of it for different reasons, but I could definitely hear how some people might find it difficult to split their decision making. But this comes down to really the type of person you are and what category of those three people you fall into. Remember, we have the newbies, the professionals, and the business goers. What category do you find yourself in will kind of dictate what you're able to do. And hopefully their plan is to divide up the crowd based on who they have available. I think all jokes aside and everything being said, I was a person who really found Afrotech to be exactly what it needed to be. I came here looking to get another position, to increase my salary and to get connected with people who would be able to help me do that. And that's what Afrotech was to me. That's what it needed to be for me, and it was everything I asked for. So I'm hard pressed to find things I complain about.